This is the first episode in the Ghost Onshape onboarding video series. This video assumes that you have saved the VEX v5 part libraries as described in the onboarding document and have been given edit access to the current season's Onshape document. It also assumes that you have default keybinds, which some users prefer to change. Note that this document is shared between all members and any changes you make will be seen by others in real time. At the bottom of your screen are tabs. These include studios, which are usually organized into folders. The two main studio types are part studios and assembly studios. Part studios and assembly studios have very different uses, workspaces, and workflows. Part studios are used to define parts for use in assemblies. Assemblies are sets of parts and their interactions with each other. For example, let's say you're making a part attached to the robot. You would first design the part in a part studio, then you would insert it into an assembly and connect the part to another one using a mate. We'll cover mates more when we're working with assembly studios. For now, let's stick with part studios. We make a new part studio when we need to make new parts that don't relate to any existing part studios. Do not edit any existing part studios which you did not create without first consulting a senior member. Ask a committee lead if you don't know any senior members. We create a new part studio by clicking the New Tab button, then clicking Create Part Studio. On the left here is the Features panel. Onshape applies all features here in order. All the features we can create are here at the top toolbar. Let's start by making something simple like a cube. To make a cube, we will need to make a new sketch. Note that when you are editing a feature, a window for it will pop up here and allow you to change its properties. Sketches need a reference plane. In this case, we'll choose the top plane. Since we aren't using them right now, we can hide the front and right planes in the Features panel. Now that we're in a sketch, note that the toolbar at the top has switched from containing features to containing sketch tools. Let's start by making a square with the center point rectangle tool. You can either use the toolbar or simply hit R on your keyboard. You just click where you want the center to be, then hold Alt to make it a square, then click somewhere else. You'll now see a number on one of the edges. If you start typing a number, then it will automatically add a dimension constraint to the side the number is on. Alternatively, you can also hit D on your keyboard or click the Dimension tool to add a dimension constraint manually. If you type a number or a formula, then it will automatically assume that you mean that number of inches. One common example of using a formula here is typing 1/2 instead of 0.5. Let's make this cube have side lengths of 1/2 inch. Click the checkbox to finish editing the sketch. Now the toolbar is back to showing features which we can add, and we can use an extrude feature on this square to make a cube. To add an extrude feature, press Shift E on your keyboard or click here. Where it says depth, you can edit the amount that you want it to extrude, or click this button next to it to switch the direction that it extrudes in. You can also add a starting offset or make the extrusion symmetric. I'll be enabling symmetric for this example. Let's set the depth to 1/2 inch. Hit the checkbox, and now we have a cube. Now let's say we want to add a hole through the top of this cube. Since this is in the same direction as our initial sketch, we can just double click the sketch to edit it and add a circle to it. Hit C for a center point circle, click on the origin, click elsewhere, then click the checkbox. Now see how the sketch has a blue dot on it? That means it's not fully defined. This means that things in the sketch can be dragged around. We want to make sure things stay the same unless we explicitly change them. So let's add a constraint to that. Double-click the sketch, hit D to add a dimension constraint, and then click on the edge of the circle. Now we can type the diameter. The diameter of the holes in VEX parts are roughly 0.18 inches. Remember that number because it shows up everywhere in our CAD. Hit Enter, then hit the checkbox. That concludes Section 1, Part 1. In the next part, we'll be editing this part and sketch constraints.